Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name's Henry Higgins and today, a little later than expected, is our spoiler-free review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. The reason it's a little later is I actually watched the movie a second time just to reinforce opinions that I had from my original viewing, to check if there was anything I missed, to see if I was simply playing like a reverse nostalgia thing while watching it. And off the bat, just to say, Zack Snyder's Justice League is a great movie. It's not just a great superhero movie, but it's a great movie outright. And to simply say it's a different movie to the 2017 version, it's doing the work done here a huge disservice, essentially. Obviously, with the much longer runtime, though the 4 hours do go by in a flash, Snyder gets the chance to flesh out the characters and their motivations. And of course, the general crux of the plot, such as the mother boxes, stopping Steppenwolf, bringing back Superman, uniting the League, they remain the same, but it's done in such a way that everything about the film feels fresh. To say that it's a different movie, as I mentioned, it's a huge disservice to simply just say that. One of the issues going in, before we get to the actual meat and bones of the movie, was the aspect ratio. It's almost a perfect square. And a lot of people, including myself and Josh, thought it would be off-putting. But hand on heart, I can say that it was never an issue for Josh and I when we were watching. You zone in on the action. And the choice of the almost fully square image is actually inspired. The way it's shot, it pops the visuals in a way that a straight widescreen 16:9 ratio can't. The verticality of shots, it really adds to the scenes being played out. And I think what a lot of people feared at first was Zack Snyder had cut the left and right, whereas he hasn't. That's still there. He's actually added to the top and bottom. But yeah, from the first seconds of watching this movie, the aspect ratio wasn't a problem. So if that's a worry you have, please don't. It is justified in what he's done. It's inspired in what he's done, and it works fantastically well for this movie. It won't work for every movie. Comic books generally run vertically, top to bottom, with the way their panels work, rather than horizontally like a normal movie would work. So in a comic book film, shooting in this ratio actually works really well, and it'll be interesting to see if they continue that in any other comic book movies in the DCEU or otherwise, or if this is it and it was just a stylistic choice. Going back to the movie though, almost every character is improved over their previous Justice League incarnations. Steppenwolf is a beast. I mean, he was always a powerful creation in the original movie, but in this, he gets motivation, he gets a reason for doing what he's doing, he gets sympathy at times, and in his fight scenes, he is awesome. And talking of the fight scenes, this is an R-rated movie, and they take full effect of that. People die. People get cut in half. People get their heads smashed against rocks. Their heads smashed against buildings. People get destroyed in this movie. And it's on screen. You literally see people getting chopped in half on screen in a DCEU movie. Now, there is the joke that the DCEU is darker than Marvel, and that's fine. This takes full advantage of that and takes it for a comic book movie, to almost the limit. And it's not gratuitous either. Deadpool, I love Deadpool, but in there a lot of the violence and the humour is intentionally gratuitous, simply because of the nature of the character, whereas with this movie, the violence is justified for being more realistic in the context of what the superhero movie is. So in this, Steppenwolf is a beast. Flash isn't as much of a not ready for this fish out of water character. He is in much more control of his powers. He knows what he can do. He set himself self-imposed limitations, and from much of the press going in, you'll probably understand why I'm saying this as well. Cyborg is the linchpin of this entire story. When you see this version, you can see why Ray Fisher and Zack Snyder were lamenting the scenes that were excised from the original, scenes that hit the cutting room floor. Cyborg was done dirty in the original Justice League with the amount of scenes that were restored, and again the runtime helps, but with the amount of scenes restored in this movie, Cyborg is the heart and the soul of the Justice League. He is the driving force of the movie and how things progress. He is one of the most powerful characters in the film intentionally, and everything about his character is so evolved, no pun intended based on what you can do, it's so evolved from the original version. And it's a crying shame that due to the problems that are ongoing between Warner Brothers and Ray Fisher, that his character has been completely excised again from the upcoming Flash movie, the Flashpoint movie that's coming out. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but if this is him going out, he's gone out on a high. Even bit partners in the movie like Mera, Deathstroke and Lex Luthor are more involved based on their contributions to the original Justice League movie, even despite their limited screen time in this one. On top of all of that, the action is wonderfully shot. It's amazingly executed, and of course it is. It's a Zack Snyder movie after all. But nothing seems bloated or nonsensical when you're looking at the action, and the desire to have more of this in follow-up movies, especially with reports stating a follow-up, whether it was Justice League 2 or Justice League 3, would be set completely in the nightmare reality. The desire is palpable to have more of that. Whether we get it or not, who knows? Depends obviously on the reaction of the studio to the general reaction to the movie. But well done to everyone involved, from the fans willing this into existence, to Zack Snyder for pushing through his vision of what Justice League should be, for the actors who came back to reshoot scenes when they thought the characters that they were playing were behind them, like Ben Affleck's Batman for example, and for Warner Brothers themselves for greenlighting and funding completion of this project. My hope is that the studio realises the Snyder DCEU is what the majority wish to see continue. The upcoming Flash movie is the perfect opportunity to retcon anything that needs adjusting to allow Snyder's vision to continue. And that's my hope, that the studio can see that. If it happens though, excellent. If it doesn't, we can take solace in the fact that we were given a taste, a sample of a recipe thought lost to time. For me, Zack Snyder's Justice League is a 5-star comic book movie, and I recommend you see it any way you can to savour what could be a real-life Flashpoint incident in the DCEU going forward. If you haven't seen the original Justice League, part of me recommends that you do watch that before you watch this to see why it's such an improvement, but then part of me is also like, forget it because it shouldn't be the canon, this should be the canon. But that's a decision for yourself. All I will say now is Justice League, 5 stars, go and see it. So however you decide, whether you want to watch the original Justice League if you haven't already and then watch this, or just go straight in with this, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with me. We'll catch you in the next video. Until then, please like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, stay safe, wear a mask, look after yourself, and look after each other. Goodbye.